Google there. Right. Oh my, that's fantastic, Jackie. I don't know if you're interested, but we're also working with someone who's talking about engineering paradise. So basically, the idea being that AI is giving everybody a chance to basically reinvent the world, reinvent themselves the way they want to see it. Pretty interesting stuff. And when I say we, I mean Karen and I. Yeah, Cal agreed. Me too. Okay, it's 3 minutes in. What do you think? Give people another couple of minutes to join or not? Here's the Google Drive for today. Well, for all these trainings. I'll drop that into the chat. And if people come late and ask for it, could someone please share with them? Well, that's why, because I'm streaming on the wrong place. That won't be so smart. Okay, let's stop that there. Sorry, folks, I managed to live stream to the wrong place, which doesn't help much, does it? There you are, and I see Dimitri's there again. Yay. Welcome, Dimitri. And this is why I can now pin a message. Yay. All right. Prioritizing women in AI leadership. There's actually entire meetup groups, I think, dedicated to that. I'll search and let you know. Okay, so I think we've given people enough time to join us. And now we should get started on our thing. Today, as you know, we're going to be talking about, what are we talking about? Data science, data analysis, not data science. Data science is a whole different field. And by the way, if anyone's interested in data science, let me know because I'm considering teaching a course. It's not a course, a whole AI practitioner certification that we are offering from AI professionals. So it will include 3 courses from Coursera, one machine language course, one data science course, and a deep learning course, and then a capstone to show that not only did you attend and pass the certifications for those individual trainings, but also you have the ability to translate what you learned into actual projects that work. Why is that relevant? Because if someone's looking for a job or if someone is trying to get a promotion, it helps to be able to say that not only do I know Python, but I know how to actually apply Python and get good data analysis out of it. Anyway, if that's of interest, drop a one in the chat and I will keep hold of the chat transcript and email the one people who say they are interested in that. That one's a paid course. It's not free. It's going to take most of a year to complete. So just letting you guys know. I'm sharing my screen. I assume you're all seeing the Google Drive. Okay, there's a couple people interested. All right. The attendee handout, which first thing is there, of course, is the Google Drive for the training. Zoom link, you guys are here. You know what this is. And if you look at the bottom line is the Google AI Professional Certificate. This is actually the playlist from Google for this exact same training. So I have watched all of these. I've taken the certification, and now I'm reteaching it just with one sample that we are working through, this Brightline data analytics company. And it's the same stuff, but this is their official training, this playlist. So watch that when you get a chance because, well, you don't have to watch that. If you're doing the certification, you will have to watch that during the certification. Does that make sense? Because each of their courses, like you watch one video, you read a bit of text, and you do the rest. You do the labs. Okay, so the drive I shared should have all of this, the attendee handout that you just saw, then these courses, these are the previous ones, and today we're going to do number 6. And in course 6, we've got a couple of, what have we got? We've got the PDFs from Google, which go along with the videos, their official training. And we have sample docs here, just 2 sample docs, 4 labs. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, and let's go all the way up to the top and start presentation. Jackie, are you talking of this certification for the Google AI Professional, or are you talking about the longer one? Okay. So for this one, really, it's a certification that you can get. You can pay for it through Coursera, $49 or $82, depending on if they're having a sale. They're not having a sale right now, but typically they will have a sale right around back to school time in the US, which is the first or second week of September. Keep an eye on it, and you should get, 40% off. So it brings it down to $49 per month. Or you can get the annual subscription also for 40% off. Anyway, the way I'm going to suggest doing it is go through Google Skills. That is skills.google.com. And sign up there for a 7-day free trial. I would advise doing that after you watch all 7 of these courses and get really familiar. It only takes 10 hours if you know what you're doing. It took me 10 hours. You guys might do it faster. I had, let's just say brain farts every once in a while. And Movio, which link do you need? The skills.google.com or the Google Drive link? This is the Google Drive link, and skills.google.com is where you go for the certification. The certification itself is multiple choice questions, these same courses that we've done, but you will be answering yes or no questions, not yes or no, multiple choice on how do you do this, how do you do that, what result can you expect if you do this, that kind of thing. And most of their quizzes have unlimited retries. But the quiz for this chapter, chapter 6, has 3 retries in a day. So get very, very experienced specifically for what we're learning here in this chapter. The recordings of these courses are actually on YouTube. You got the email today that said this course is happening right now. There's a link in there for the replays. You can just grab that. In fact, if I'm smart, I could. Oh, I have a ton of emails. Sorry, guys. Okay, here. This is the email. Join us live on Zoom. Here's the replays. Copy clean link. Drop that in the chat. Oh my gosh, no, that's way too much. That's what I was hoping to drop in the chat. There you go. Okay. So any questions, Dimitri? I know you're there on YouTube. And good afternoon, good evening, right? It's like after 5 o'clock your time. Yeah. Okay. So back to the course. Hopefully that answered all your questions here. Where's my chat? My chat has disappeared. I need to be able to see it. Okay. So Google's AI Professional Certificate, and we're looking at AI for data analysis today. And data analysis is, of course, the thing that most companies need, right? Because not everybody builds apps, but almost everybody needs to look at what their business is doing, make informed decisions, and ideally use AI to help with all of that. What we're going to do, we've got 4 modules, which basically in this case is 4 labs, because I'm not going to be teaching all the stuff that the official Google playlist teaches you. You can go watch that. Today, we're going to just build a measurement plan to know what the leadership is going to ask before they ask it. Clean up any messy data. We'll use our sample docs that we have in the sample docs folder. We'll analyze and visualize what we get. We're actually going to use Google Sheets for a change in here as well. And then we're going to do a business performance simulator. Yeah, so that you can, this one's going to be fun because it's got little sliders and you can drag them back and forth. Should be fun. And of course, homework is just do some real data analysis on data that you have. If you don't have data of your own, go to some place like Kaggle. There's lots of data there. It's free. You can just grab it. There's also all kinds of open source data sets. Google it and you'll find some. And like the email said, you're going to need Google AI Pro for image extraction and sheets analysis. So think about that. Okay. So basically, the point is that we want AI to do the work. We do the thinking. That's always going to be on us, and we've got to double check the answers. But AI can actually, clean up the data. It can create formulas to do what you need. It can build you charts and extract structure from, if you just give it a PDF or a screenshot, it can do that. But it's up to you to, apply the real intelligence, right? You ask the good questions. AI doesn't know what your business does, what matters to your business. And then you've got to interpret the findings in ways that make sense to your business and to whoever you're presenting it to. And of course, verify accuracy, because AI gets things wrong, and it gets things wrong extremely confidently. It's not like a human would say, I think. AI just tells you, I know. This is the official answer. So think about it, make sure that you're actually double checking. Okay, so what we're going to do is the first one, we're going to tell Gemini what our role is, what kind of meeting we're going into, and what the goal is for me. What outcome do I want from the meeting? We'll ask AI to identify the metrics that would be relevant for this specific audience. Like if you're talking to a finance guy, it's a different perspective. If you're talking to your project manager, they've got a different perspective. Your CEO has a different perspective. So AI can help you figure out what metrics, like what KPIs each of them's interested in. And then it can help you anticipate the questions. And it literally can help you to figure out how to export the data if you need it. Any questions so far? I mean, we haven't started doing anything, obviously, but go ahead and drop questions in the chat, both in Zoom and or in here in YouTube. Okay. So right now what we're going to do is the scenario we've been working with is we are a data company, and we have just been reworking our new employee onboarding process. Yeah. So now we want to, in our example, we're going to present the results of the onboarding to the leadership team. And we want to know beforehand what they're going to actually ask about, right? I'm not a CEO. I may not know how a CEO thinks. I'm not a HR manager. I don't know what the HR manager needs. But Gemini knows all of those roles, which is really cool. And so does ChatGPT, and so does what's the third one? Claude. Yeah. And if you're using Kimi or whatever else, they know it too, right? So for this module, we don't need any files. We're simply planning this. So let's see. And the goal for that is to leave with a short list of metrics that matter most for this particular meeting. And you can rerun it with different audiences in mind. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, again, use your own examples. That is always going to give you better results. But for us, just to keep things quick and clean, we're just going to copy paste. These examples are also in the labs thing here. So in the Google Drive, we've got in course 6, we've got the document with the labs and prompts, and that's got all of these scenarios in there. So same exact prompt is there. Copy from there or copy from here. I just dropped that in the chat, and I'll drop it in the chat for YouTube as well. Okay, too long. All right, split that into 2 for YouTube, paste it again. There we go. Okay, so everyone can drop this in there. Drop this prompt into Gemini, hit enter. Access to the PowerPoint slide. You don't have access to the PowerPoint slide, Sage, but this whole thing is being recorded, so you'll have recordings that look at my PowerPoint slide as well. So anything you need, you can just copy from there or pause this thing on that screen for as long as you need. Okay, so this is the answer. The goal is to reduce cost per hire and get new hires productive faster. Makes sense. And it's given you the kind of things that are relevant for executives. Yeah. Jeet is asking, you want to prepare for data analytics. If you're talking about moving into a career in data analytics, then I would strongly recommend, there's tons of courses, right? There's courses from everywhere. Coursera is a very good place for it. You don't need my prep work. You can just go into Coursera, sign up for a 1-year certificate, a 1-year membership, and work through the data analytics courses on there. Udemy is I would put that at a tier lower than Coursera. Coursera is very academically strong. It's all universities and stuff there. Whereas Udemy is individuals, someone like me saying, I know data analytics or I know machine learning or whatever, and I go make a course there. It doesn't have the academic rigor that you're looking for. And also, if you show that to an employer, they're going to say, I prefer someone with a higher degree. The data science proficiency thing, the advanced training that I'm talking of, the AI practitioner certification that I will be teaching, I'll start that probably in a month or 2, and it'll take all of a year, unfortunately, if that's what you're talking about. And that is actually going to be expensive compared to doing it yourself with Coursera, simply because Coursera just gives you the courses. I'm going to be spending the time, training actually like this. We'll be walking through labs together and all of that. And that is a lot to put out for free. Yep, there's good analytics courses on Coursera. Just go look. Also on LinkedIn Learning. But again, LinkedIn Learning is not usually affiliated with the universities. Coursera often is. Even on Coursera, there are different tiers, of course. Some are universities, some are not. I would stick with universities if I was trying to get a job in that field. Okay, so here we go. We've already done this bit. We've got the role, we've got the business goal, and we got the output we were expecting. Now what we want to do is we want to pick one of those metrics that it gave us. And for most onboarding reviews, cost per hire is where executives focus first. So let's pick that. Again, if you're doing an example with your own work, you probably want to ask questions about things that are relevant to your boss, about whatever it is you're presenting to them. Okay, so drop that into Gemini or, whoops, that's not Gemini. I nearly dropped it into chat again. That won't help me, will it? And you can change that, it doesn't have to be leadership team. Maybe it's the HR team. Maybe it's the actual new hire manager who needs to know. And each of them will have different interests and different priorities. So for a new hire manager, it's probably going to be not cost per hire, but time to productivity, because that's what the manager is being evaluated on. So you can run these same examples with different questions, different scenarios. Yep, Coursera is an excellent option. Back some 20 years ago, when the massively open online courses started, the MOOCs, there were so many universities offering directly from their websites all these courses, but now they've mostly consolidated into either edX or Coursera. Both are very, very good. So now what's happening is we want to figure out how to get the data out of this. And put in your real tool name. Yeah. So here we're asking for Google Sheets because we're cheap. We don't have an expensive software system or SaaS that we should be using. We're just going to put it in Google Sheets. You can also ask to put it into Tableau or what's the other one? Microsoft Excel or wherever. I'm sure Microsoft has a good data analysis thing. I don't use Microsoft much. Power BI, there you go. That's a good one. Yeah. Would help if I had an H in my question. How do I export hiring data from our blah? I had a question. I don't want you to connect to Google Worksheet. Step by step. And yeah, this is what I love about the AIs. If you don't know how to do something, it basically can do it, teach you how to do it for yourself. Yeah, so log into your ATS. We don't have ATS here, just CSV files. Because like I said, I'm cheap. And see, very simple. So Arun, that was the answer. Google Workspace Smart Settings is if you're importing from an external third-party software that has an API to connect with Google Workspace. But here is this trivial, just import it. And yeah, like it says, it's assuming that you're dealing with an actual paid software, in which case it'll tell you this. Okay, so we figured out how to use Gemini to help us, to help put us in the shoes of our audience. And basically, this is the way you would do it for whatever it is that you're trying to analyze, whether you just got a giant infographic from someone or, your boss handed you down something and said, okay, now go make a presentation based on this data, and you've never worked with that data before, go back to Gemini. And did everyone manage to finish lab one? Drop a one in the chat. Drop a zero if you're still working on it. Okay, two people have finished. All right, three. Give me some more names. No, not names, ones. Give me some more ones. Okay, thanks, Ekaterina. Oh, nice. HMO forces, they had the opportunity to use BI query data analytics tool. Nice, with amazing results. Great. And that's the other thing, folks. Experiment. It's not just, waiting for someone to tell you what to do. Go out and just experiment with everything you can get your hands on. Right now, with the advent of AI, it is super easy to learn new stuff. Point it at a whole bunch of YouTube videos, go to Gemini Notebook, point it to a whole bunch of videos on YouTube teaching you how to do something, and ask it to summarize it for you. You will learn so much faster. Anything, literally. In fact, this whole course that we're doing, go to Gemini, go open the notebook, point it at that official Google course and ask it to tell you what to focus on, how to learn, how to best prepare for the quiz. That's, extra homework. Yeah, Notebook LM is it's part of, let me just check. I think it's free, but I have the paid version, so I'm always kind of, let's see, notebooklm.google.com, which is now Gemini Notebook. Same product. Yes, let's go. Yep, it's free. It's here. It may or may not be free depending on where in the world you are, but you can just, if you have it, there's going to be a create new button right there for you, and you can play with it. So yeah, it actually would be a very good idea to use Gemini Notebook to learn, to practice before the quizzes for this. Do not use it to answer the quizzes though, because that's cheating. Just FYI. So here's the thing. Most of the AIs can now read images. So if there's text in an image, it can read it. And then we also have this little thing called equals AI with brackets. That is a little formula that's telling your Google Sheets or Excel that you want a formula driven by AI. Really cool. And that's what we're going to do in this lab. Love the equals AI and hate spreadsheets. Agreed. Me too. I don't hate spreadsheets. I love the power, but man, getting my head around the formulas is annoying. Um, I tried reverse engineering somebody's spreadsheet once, gave myself such a headache. Yeah, not fun. Okay, so this time we're going to be doing lab 2, which is extracting pulse survey responses. You have recent responses that tell you whether new hires are struggling. The problem is that these responses are sitting in a mockup, not in a spreadsheet. So what we're going to do is open up the onboarding survey mockup.pdf, which is, where is it? Okay, in the sample docs. Let's open this in a new tab. And, it's obviously just a bunch of comments and dates and a rating. So what we're going to do is tell Google to analyze this for us, or tell Gemini in this case. So we're going to go from that static image to structured data set. And that is, again, pretty easy. Basically extract the data and export it to sheets. Okay. So new chat, again, always new chat. And drop this into your new chat. And Dimitri, you asked if you could generate sample data satisfying all the criteria for this exercise. We've got a sample data here, but yeah, we could also generate your own. In fact, you could literally tell Gemini to generate robust sample data. It'll do it for you. Right, I was going to create a new chat. Wait, was it a new chat or a new Google Sheet? Start a new chat in Gemini, attach the PDF thing. Let's do that first. Right, it would help if I did Command T. There we go. New chat, paste. And it's going to tell me what document. Add from Drive. Don't think so, Venus. So go to course 6, sample docs. Click on that. That makes it selected and hit insert. It's hilarious. I didn't give it the doc, and yet it decided to give me some responses. This is what we call hallucinations. That's interesting. It's like it already knew which document we were talking about. Okay. Rishit, that's an answer that's beyond the scope of this call, unfortunately. Where to find the sample doc? Okay, in your Google Drive, you've got course 6. Yeah, Google AI Professionals, course 6, sample docs, and there's the 2 docs. So once Gemini creates the table, export it to Sheets and open the new file. Okay, so I've got this here. And let's export to Sheets. Or in this case, to docs. Let's see. I did not ask you to do that. I asked you to export. Okay, I did not want a Google Doc. I wanted a Google Sheet. That's annoying. and this is what you do, right? You tell it that the version it got wasn't sufficient. Bottom right corner of the table. Bottom left corner of the table, right there. I am blind. There we go. It's creating a spreadsheet. And once that's done, open it in Google Sheets. And there you go. Nice little Google Sheet with all the data we need, or rather all the data it extracted. All right, now we're going to do the math. Let AI do the math for us. Add a column called sentiment. And put into that the AI formula that we've got here. Again, you can do this with data that's your own. We are just using sample data because it's available. Why not? I'm going to put that in, analyze as blah. And we got it already analyzed it. And the easiest thing to do, drag it down. And it does the same logic for the other rows. Okay. Everybody able to do that? I think this is available even on the free tier, but let me know if not. Yeah, great. So how easy was that though? I mean, I really like how simple this becomes, right? I mean, as a human, of course, we can read these and immediately get an idea. But think about if it's a long list, then it almost becomes easier to read the text. Okay, now next step is we're going to do another column, category. Export to doc. Amanda, try instead of export to doc, go back there and look, see this? Instead of export to doc, which is here, click on this one, more options, export to sheets. Michael, that usually means there's an issue in the cell numbers. Just take a look at the formula and make sure. Amanda, did you see that? Export to sheets there. And then on the bottom left, it'll show you what it's doing. And Michael, what you want to do is make sure that if it's looking at B2, then it needs to be B2, like this cell. So just make sure. Sage says it connected workspace and did the auto export. Okay, I guess that works too. All right, now we're going to add the next column that it wants, which is category. Yeah, so we're going to add a column called category, and in the first data cell, we're going to enter this next AI formula. So again, very simple, call the thing category. And again, make sure, like if you're in row B2, C2, whatever, it should be looking at the same row to get the value. Otherwise, you will get unexpected results, let's say. This working for everyone? This is basically what you're going to get quizzed on, right? Think about it. This is the unusual bit, which is exactly what people like to test us on. Okay, so Jackie's got it. Cannot find the AI function in Google Sheets. Let's take a look at the formula here. IT setup, manager, benefits, clarity. Good point. It should not come back with other anyway. C2, thanking them for C2. Okay, I'm going to edit this to just be C2. Ah, the formula is wrong. So we need to fix it. So it has these options. And instead of B2, I'm going to see what happens if I go C2. Because really, you see, this, it should be looking at this column. Yep, much better. Does that help? Sage, did you get that? Try running it for column C rather than column B. That's what I did. I just changed that there. So my example had a problem. Let's go ahead and fix that in the prompts because I suspect we have the same problem there. Yep, this should be C2, not B2. I will fix that. Okay. I have a dozen or more Gmails. Always fun trying to remember which one I was using. Category C2, there we go. Fixed, 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 fixed. Okay, and your copy also has the correct version now. Arun, are you using the free version? If you are, what I'm going to suggest is, let's see, I could be wrong, but I think it works in Flash and in Pro. I'm just going to copy this spreadsheet onto the, actually, no, say share. Anyone with the link can edit. No, I don't. Okay, this is a view only, so I'm going to make a copy. And the reason I'm doing it again is because, Arun, I have a free account here. You have the Pro license, and you should be able to see it. I'm not sure why not. So if you just type equals AI, what happens? Do you get, I mean, wrong number of arguments? It expects between 1 and 2. You should be able to do that. I don't know what to say. Yeah, Gemini does get access to everything. Okay, I'm not going to troubleshoot why this one thinks it's, no, it fixed it. Okay. One more is right. Yes, I also have multiple Gmail accounts. All right, back to our next module. So this module was pretty straightforward. You took an image, turned it into a spreadsheet, didn't have to actually copy and paste, it did it. And then you were actually able to get intelligence out of it. So consider if you've got a whole lot of sales data and you want to figure out, for example, which state in the US the maximum number of customers are coming from, or you maybe sell across the world, which country are your customers coming from? Or you run a YouTube channel, where are your viewers coming from? All of that fun stuff. And yes, Arun, when I create, I often create a new Gmail account just so that, like you said, if it gets access to an email account there, if the AI gets access, it's getting access to something useless. So, yeah, I don't want Gemini or any AI being trained on me, really. But then I'm also paranoid. Okay, so module 3, we're going to analyze the data and build some visualizations. So now we've got numbers, we're going to move them, convert them into a chart, which is actually easy enough, even with basic um, Google Sheets or Excel. But this time we're not going to have to do, not going to have to remember formulas. We're simply going to get AI to do it for us. Yeah. So again, we're hiring fast, we're growing fast. The leadership wants to know which recruiting channel gives the best results. So we're going to import the second document this time into the Google Sheet, into a new Google Sheet, and do file import to bring it in. Okay. So let's go file, new, first of all, new spreadsheet, and import. Again, shared with me, Google AI Professionals, course 6, sample docs. And this is the one I want. By the way, this time you notice instead of 2 docs, it's only showing 1. That's because we're now in Google Sheets and it knows there's only one that's relevant. So select that one, insert it. And yeah, it's a brand new spreadsheet. Convert things to dates, numbers, formulas. Great. Do all of that. And there you go. We've got a bunch of data, lots of numbers. Fun. And this actually is the cost per hire, which is presumably where we're going to be looking at. Okay, so the idea is now we need to know which one is best performing out of that cost per hire. And then we want to describe that. So with the CSV open, click the Gemini icon in the sidebar. And that would be this one, right? I don't want you to summarize this data. I want you to answer my question. Again, for homework, please do the minor issue with that is AI formulas works really well only with smaller data sets. If you apply for 10,000 rows, it behaves weirdly. I did not know that. I have not tried it with 10,000 rows. What happens, Dimitri, when you apply it for larger data? Very cool. This is data from the recruiting channels, provide the number of hires and the average cost per hire across all channels. So this time we're not actually making a new column. We're just talking to it like we would to ChatGPT or Claude or, any AI in the web. And just looking at it, I mean, if we were going to do the math, you could always double check it, right? Basically, we want to know how many new employees do we have. Oops. Yes, it would help if I put sum first before doing that. I mean, if I put equals, so we know we have 29 employees. And what's it saying? Yep, total number of hires is 29. And it did the weighted cost of the average. So it took the total cost and divided it by 29 hires. Total cost is 11,000. Don't know why it's telling me it's 30,000. I get cost per hire. Oh, no, never mind. I know exactly why, because it's multiplying this times this to get the actual cost. Okay. Yep, use your intelligence. Don't trust it blindly. How did I bring up that dialog box? I literally, there was a diamond here, but you could also click the diamond up there and get that. That symbol is the thing that says it's Gemini or whatever AI. Everyone get this far? Okay, Michael, I know you haven't got that far because I'm still talking to you. Yeah. And it actually tells you 6 hires is 4,500 each. It breaks that down. Remember where I was confused as to why the number it got was different? It's telling me why. So the total is 30,000, not 11,000. That is pretty good. All right. Assuming everyone else is also that far. So again, Gemini was able to read it. I did not have to read it. I did not have to think about the fact that, 6 hires at $2,000 would be $12,000. It did all that. Smarter than me. Okay. And step 2, stay in that sidebar and paste. What is the average days to fill by channel, regardless of the device category? Okay. So regardless of this category, what is the average days to fill? So recruiting agency took 17 and a half days. That would be that many hires at 18 days and 17 days. What's the average of that? 17 and a half. That looks right. Employee referral took 20 days. Again, that looks right. Job board, Indeed, took 30 days. Yep. And a LinkedIn job post took 35. I mean, this is really Mickey Mouse examples because look at it, 34, 36. You know that the average is halfway there. But again, this is just to teach you what you can do. Go ahead and do it with real data, and you'll get hopefully more usual, will give you better results. Thanks for joining us, Jackie. I'm sure you can carry on. There's just one lab left. Enjoy and have fun experimenting with this over the week. See you next week for the final session. Before you go, Jackie, quick question. Do you and everyone else in the group, do you want one extra week where we can just go back over and, if you've got if you got stuck anywhere or if you tried the exam and you don't think it was easy, do you want to do one more? Okay, so I might add one more session there. All right, that will be just Q&A really. Sridhar, we have replays there. So go watch the replays. When you got the email that gave you the Zoom link for this call, that also had the link to the replays. You can watch it in there. Yeah. Okay. So step 2, we already did the average thing. And again, as a boss, you basically want to know the gap, right? So the channel that fills the role 15 days faster than the average has a real business impact. So now what we want to do is take that and explain it to your boss, right? Or rather, in this case, not explain to your boss, but this is literally what. So in this case, it says employee referral, but actually what we saw was not employee referral. The fastest was which one? 17.5 days, the recruiting agency. Okay, Dimitri also says yes. Formula doesn't populate automatically for all rows. For some lines, I have to manually click on generate and fill. Interesting. I didn't have that. Actually, I did have that. The very first row, I got that too. Okay. So go ahead and paste that into a new chat, I think, right? Yeah, new chat. And this is basically you're just brainstorming with the AI, asking it questions like, why would a recruiting agency be faster? The thing with AI, though, is I could literally ask the opposite question and it would give me a very confident answer to that too. So be careful of the questions you're asking. In fact, let's see. Why would LinkedIn and Indeed have a faster days to fill than what was it? I've forgotten. Like a recruiting agency or employee referrals. I'm pulling this question literally out of thin air just because I wanted to show you that AI will answer the question. Immediate inbound velocity. Look at that. They often win on quality of hire. Direct job channels will give you significant outperform on days to fill under specific operational conditions. Awesome. So it actually did qualify that. And Michael's asking, will we have access to the Google Drive for a while afterwards? You'll have the access to the Google Drive pretty much forever. I don't see a reason to take this away. To get Gemini extension in Excel, is that with the Excel upgrade? You know what? Possibly. I don't know. But if you've got Excel, you've probably got some very similar functionality straight from Copilot. So you may not need Gemini because, I mean, really, they're all competing with each other. So Amanda, just look and see if Copilot has a similar thing. In fact, why don't we Google it right now? Google.com. Does MS Excel also include AI formulas? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. Yep. So you would use equals Copilot instead of equals AI, and it's built in there. So that's easy, Amanda. So this is what I was trying to explain is that AI is like a small child. Whatever you ask, it wants to make you happy, it'll give you an answer. And that's basically it. You can ask it, why is the sky green today? And it will probably give you an answer for that too. The sky in Bonn is green today. Why is that? If it's smart, it should be calling me out and saying that's bullshit. But no, here we go. It gives me a very plausible sounding answer. What can I say, guys? AI wants to help you, even if you're asking really dumb questions. Okay. Oh, really? Claude will? Depends on how you've been interacting with Claude, I think. I have to actually tell it to, put itself into the role of Steve Jobs or Elon Musk in order for it to start being abusive. I'm usually nicer to it. Yeah, see? If you call it out, it's going to call you out because it basically treats you as a peer. So whatever you do to it, it's going to do to you. You be nice, it'll be nice. Okay. So basically, we already saw that, right? Gemini surfaced the structural reasons. And then when I reversed the question and, it told me under certain circumstances why LinkedIn or Indeed might actually work better. Okay. Lab 3, step 4, go back to Sheets, open the sidebar. And now let's ask it to do a chart. Super simple again. Back in these sheets in the sidebar. And show the average days to fill by channel. Is everybody able to follow along? Is it doing what we expect it to do? Works like a charm. Yeah, I think it works like a clam. Look at this. I've identified this. I've identified that. Just give me the chart. There we go. That's pretty. The career fair was fastest. Interesting. No, slowest. Okay. Why is the career fair the slowest? I thought that would be on the spot hiring. Wait a second, Sage. What do you mean? Chat is a paid feature in Gemini? No. Unless you mean chat in here. Huh. Okay, let me go into my free account. Gemini. It's there. This is a free account, and I'm seeing it here. Generate a sub. Spreadsheet. Can you summarize the data in this spreadsheet? Interesting. Where in the world are you? Maybe this is different in different countries. It wants dollars, dollar. No way. Okay, that should not be the case. Anyone else in the US? You having trouble with being able to chat? It's free in the UK. I'm in Canada. It's free here. Sage is in New York. Hmm. It's thinking and thinking and thinking. Oh, I see. I have promo access to Gemini. You are right. For free accounts, real-time collaboration is supported, but communication must be done via cell comments. Try that. Control-Alt-M. So let's see. Command-Option-M in a Mac. No, that wasn't it. It lied. That's all I can say. It is a premium feature. Okay. You are right. My mistake. I apologize. So, yep. In that case, again, set up a new Gmail account and get the free trial. Andy Kenner says also in France. Right. That's frustrating, but easy enough to get around. Another way to get Google AI Pro for free, sign up for the Coursera free trial. It's a 7-day free trial. Coursera free trial is 7 days, but that free trial gives you access to 90 days free of Google AI Pro. So grab your 90 days free and then cancel the Coursera so that you don't get charged. Okay, back to the thing. We got the chart, pair it with the narrative. There we go. So this is how you get from so what to the actual data point. Okay, I believe you. This means it's really not free anywhere then. Even for me in Canada, we realized that after a few sample questions, it kind of went, no, pay me. And it did say though that it's possible to, what was that? That you could use it in there using a specific command or notes. I have not tried that. You can try that. Okay. Now, number 4, we're actually going to do the business performance simulator. This is the one with the sliders. Always fun. So this time we're going to use Canvas, and Canvas is available on the free account too. So basically, we're going to adjust the sliders and see the results changing dynamically in real time. So we're going to use the same recruiting channel data and findings from Module 3, the cost per hire and days to fill. And this time, it's going to have an interactive tool for your boss. So we want tools, Canvas in a new chat. So again, start Gemini. This plus is tools, and Canvas is here. On a free account, it's may not be available in Flash in Flash Lite, but it's available in Flash and Pro. Okay, Canvas. What are we pasting in there? Then I need to bring this closer. Acting as a data analyst, help me build an interactive performance simulator. Okay, that's a good ask. And this one is a long query. So for YouTube, I'm splitting it into 2. And it's still too long now. This is good. Still too long. Fill, days to fill, and average days to fill. Sorry, it's in as 3 subprompts there. And we want to put that in our new chat in Canvas. Yeah, make sure Canvas is up. Let me build an interface that analyzes interactive based on our data. Referral is that much per hire, 20 days to fill. LinkedIn cost is that much. Show how the mix affects the total cost. So what you do in this coming week is do this kind of data analysis on your own data, whether you get data from Kaggle or you're working at a company and you've got real life data, use that and see how you can use it to understand that data. And it's creating little KPI summary cards. Nice. So it's going to build that with calculators, with live calculations that change when you drag the sliders and output metrics, right? Then test drive it, right? Drag them all to the right, drag them to 100% agency, refine as needed. Anything that doesn't quite look right, change it. Ready soon. Yeah. Interactive dashboard happens based on the kind of audience you target, or where your customers are coming from. Again, move the sliders around, visualize it in different ways. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, we're seeing all this. Let's move all the sliders to the right. All right, 100 roles, referrals, and recruiting agency. What happened? Your spend distribution basically became all identical. But change it, and you see how that changes. This is always fun. Your boss will like it. And oh, by the way, watch how I changed this one, and that went up. Or that, or that. So lots of fun. Experiment, see how the results change. And yes, the total should be, of course, 100%. Is everyone getting something like this? Drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 10 in the chat if you're not, because I'd like to know if it's breaking for someone. Oh, oui. Merci. Refine as needed. You want wider slider ranges if you want. Added metrics like the number of days saved. You want a better layout. Whatever you want, it will do it. That's literally what its job is. That's it. Why is that last one important? Because a static view is nice, but it's harder to understand. If they can change things, then whoever's looking at that chart can go, oh, I see, this is why. Okay, and that means that I need to make sure this parameter is different, that parameter is different. Oh, you got a problem. There was a problem when running your code as a bonus. Nice. You want to try it again? Create a new chat and do it? So that's basically it. Today was all about data analysis, and I will be honest, this was the one I had to retry the quiz a couple of times. I kept failing because the multiple choice questions needed me to think what would happen if, and I guess I'm gonna take the excuse of I was tired. It was like 2 in the morning or something. But yeah, do this one when you are wide awake and at your best. Any questions on today's labs? 4 labs, we did a lot of data analysis, and this is really fun stuff because data analysis is literally the way a company predicts what to do in the future, right? Looks at all the data you've got right now and then decides what to do next. Yeah, I agree, Michael. This is a good module. It's also an intense module because you've got to actually know data analysis. You've got to understand what it's doing. So yeah, practice lots because this one for me was the toughest. Any questions? And if not, yeah, you've got 10 minutes of your life back. Free, no charge. Okay, 2 more seconds and then I'm going to say bye to everybody. Awesome, thanks. Thank you to all of you. And yes, see you next week and we will do the bonus week after. All right, have a great week, guys, and do your homework. See you next time.